Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about some exciting events I have coming up. Starting with June 11th, we'll be out at Naked Vine for the singer-songwriter storytelling showcase, celebrating 1 year out there at Naked Vine. And I've invited along Susie Bassino and Michael Eisenbeis of Find a Drive, and Dustin Brown and Michael Flynn of Waiting for Flynn. So these four writers sitting on stools, sharing stories behind all these songs. And we'll also have some gourmet grilled cheese by Sauce Magazine's Chef of the Year, Matt Glickard, out there. So come hungry and join us at Naked Vine, 7 o'clock start. It's a $10 cover for the show for the evening. So join us. It's going to be a great night. Can't wait to see you all there. If you haven't been by Naked Vine, Brian's running a great spot out there in Chesterfield, serving up all sorts of your favorite wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers. Great live music all the time over there also. Stop by and visit them this week. Thursday, they are doing June 6th, they are doing a blues watch party for the Stanley Cup Finals. Stop by and watch the game over there at Naked Vine with them. And then on Friday, June 7th, Les Scruff and the Billy Goat return. And on Saturday, June 8th, Ross Bell Band. So stop by and visit them this weekend. Again, you can find everything at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also want to tell you about a really exciting party I have coming up. I can't wait for this one. On June 22nd, we're celebrating 5 years of Rock Paper Podcast out at Broadway Oyster Bar. And I've invited along Amanda Fish Band, Tony Campanella Band, and Odds Lane. That's a $8 cover for the show. 10 o'clock music starts. And if you haven't been to Broadway Oyster Bar, what have you been doing? You need to go check it out. There's all sorts of great food and cold drinks all night long. It's going to be an incredible night. Can't wait. We'll also have my friend Jessica Hitchcock out there doing some live art throughout the evening. So somebody's going to go home with an original piece of artwork that at the end of the night, and that's going to be really cool. So again, June 22nd, celebrating 5 years at Broadway Oyster Bar. Can't wait for that night. Also want to tell you about my friends at Joseph Meyer Club. Stop by and visit them at josephmeyerclub.com right now, and you can purchase some of their foaming aftershave. And if you use my code RPPJMC20, you can receive an additional 20% off during checkout. I've been using this product myself. I love it. I think it's really wonderful and smells great. So check it out. If you're looking to get some aftershave, check out josephmeyerclub.com. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for all the support. Thanks for listening and telling friends. And over the last 5 years, it's been a wild ride. So let's keep this thing going. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you out there. Have a great day, everyone.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
I'm Marcus, and I'm Kenny from Fister, and then you say I'm Marcus.
Well, one of us does one. We introduce ourselves. And say
one
of us will close it out. We don't talk at the same time.
Yeah, you say I'm Marcus, and then I'll say I'm Kenny from Fister, and then you say, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Cool. We should just do that, actually.
That was actually it right
That's
there.
a better exchange, I think, than in rehearsal.
Totally.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today at Encapsulated Studios with Marcus and Kenny of Fister. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is cool, man. I'm glad to be here hanging with you guys.
Back in the gear locker.
Yeah. This is Marcus's return to the show, but Kenny's a first timer, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
This is gonna be fun. I'm excited. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff happening for the group. We got a lot of stuff happening we were just talking some Blues hockey a little bit. Obviously, this is recorded the night after Game 5, which was nuts. So yeah. Anyway, you guys, did you guys get to actually watch the game last night?
I watched it on my phone. My bar doesn't have cable, and I literally, it was me and the other bartender, and there were a handful of customers, and me and the other bartender were like the only ones watching the game because I couldn't put it on our. We have a projector, and we just air DVDs. So I watched, and it was great.
Yeah, I was at a show at Foo Bar last night, and they had it on the TV, and I watched the first inning of it at a buddy of mine's house, and I was in transit for like the latter part of the second period. I was kind of just watching like the game day on my phone, like the timer go down and the score. And then by the time the third period started up, I was the band I was there to see was playing, and I was like not paying any attention to the band. I felt terrible. Like I was watching and just like smacking the bar.
That's what I was doing last night.
Going wild as fuck.
Turning around.
Somehow still louder than death metal. It was like a guy cheering on hockey.
I was working actually, so I didn't get to watch much of it, but I did try to poke my head in every now and then and listen, but you could just hear the screams every time something happened and stuff. So
it was an intense one for sure. I mean, like what the Bruins, they were. I don't remember what the percentage wise like, but they shot quite a few more shots. Quite a few more shots.
39 shots versus like 19.
Yeah.
And I think that
Bennington was a monster.
Yeah, I think he set a record or something.
Yeah, he was a puck gobbler last night. He was killing it. He was making up for what was that, Game 3?
Yeah. And they got spanked.
We don't have to talk about that. That was embarrassing.
But
we're playing in Boston in this August. And we're just like fingers crossed that we're going to be able to just talk mad shit as soon as we get there. That's going to be very nice.
I saw Gabe Ustery last night, who's going to be filling in on drums for that tour. And it was right after the game, and he came in. Him and his wife were pretty toasty. And I was like, you ready to get your ass kicked in Boston this August?
It reminds me, we did a trip to Chicago for Cardinals Cubs series, and it was a lot of shit talking going on that trip. And I remember it was 14 of us in a bachelor party, and we were like hanging out in the bleachers, and just kind of people giving it back and forth to each other, and then something like went to the you go to the restroom and they actually had like the crink towels, and like it says like in St. Louis everything's automatic, you just got to wave your hand there, and he's like oh, that must be nice. Like, yeah, but you got to win a couple of rings to get that. So we stuff like that, we were just kind of, but it was friendly. We went to Wrigleyville afterwards and hung out, and people were just cool about it.
They can tear that piece of shit down now. They got their taste.
Oh yeah.
Build a new one that's going to be better than every stadium ever.
Yeah,
probably.
But I imagine I don't know if that'll ever happen with St. Louis and Boston though. Because there's even beyond hockey, there's a long rivalry.
Big time.
Well, there's my friend Darren went to Game 1 in Boston, and he was like surrounded, obviously by Bruins fans, and he was like, yeah, I'm here, and he's like, throw some punches, and he's like, everybody's so nice. He's like, everybody's super nice, and then you see these guys after the guys of a Game 5.
Oh, man.
And the Bruins fans are fighting each other.
Dude, those are some cheap seats though. And by Stanley Cup finals, if you're in the cheap seats and you lose, you're extra pissed.
Dude, my wife was still like $1,000. I was
supposed to spend this money on like groceries or something. And I totally just bought a fucking ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm gonna get a divorce, and we just lost.
I watched that video too, and those guys could not fight. I was watching that video. He's like 5 guys punching each other, and nobody got hurt.
Oh yeah, exactly. Everyone got a little wet, maybe.
Yeah, they just got some Sam Adams poured down the back of their jerseys.
I think the best part of that is in the background you can hear they play the Stone Cold Austin theme song.
The PA guy was all about it. He's like, oh, it's going down. The guy care. He's like, fight. A little more than just shouting the word fight over the PA repeatedly. But the guy got his ass kicked. The guy had his hand around his throat, and ground pounded him. And I was like, that guy's pissed, man. He's doing this for everybody.
Yeah.
The guy's screaming Gloria in his face as he's punching him.
That guy, one guy came up and he had his jersey like pulled over his head, and I took a screenshot and I made it a little meme out of it, and it says I'm the great Cornholio, because he had like his looked like Beavis with his jersey. So anyway, yeah, that video was crazy, man. It was but it's funny that they're beating up each other now. I know we got a little bit of attention recently because that guy from like Barstool Sports was
he's a crybaby. Somebody
like hit him with a towel, and he was like made a big deal about it, like that St. Louis fans are classless or something like that, and then they show Boston fans are beating up each other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I saw like some crap about like they were saying that people are saying their towels were sexist or whatever. I don't know anything about that. Like, I didn't hear anybody saying that their towels were sexist, or I don't know if they were just. This was somebody shared.
It's weird. It's odd. Sports makes people like, it's like sports is like alcohol. It's like fun until someone gets upset.
Yeah.
And then and then they're in a pissy mood, and it's like, you know why you're in a pissy mood? You put your stock in this thing that you have no control over. You're letting yourself control it over. And I would call myself a casual sports fan.
Right.
Same. I watch a lot of baseball.
Now with
baseball
fan. You're a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Casual sports fan, big baseball fan, very casual hockey fan, big St. Louis fan, really. You know, so like it's not often that a team from the Midwest, you get your we're getting our Cinderella story at the moment. Kansas City Royals had theirs, Chicago Cubs had theirs, Houston Astros had theirs. All these teams that were the bottom of the barrel shit are getting their comeuppance now as far as being recognized as good teams. And the Blues are getting a taste harder than I think most a lot of teams are getting. Or have gotten in a while.
Sure.
The city needs it, man. Yeah. I think that with all the terrible things that people are focused on, to give any bit of distraction to that. I mean, I don't agree with distraction for the most part, but it's giving a lot of people in St. Louis, like, it's making a lot of people happier, which, I mean, never get this far,
right.
You know?
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. Like I've said, basically the same kind of thing. Like that people ask me about that. I'm like, I don't really care about, hockey or any, but I do. I'm happy for my city.
Yeah.
I'm excited that what this is doing for local business and everything
and
else.
For the people who are diehard hockey fans, diehard Blues fans, who I know, who I grew up with. There's like a lot of people who are super excited right now, and all the rhetoric as far as like the no calls from the refs and all that shit. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. They've been talking about it every single Stanley Cup playoffs, every single NBA Finals, every single World Series, every single Super Bowl, every single World Cup. Something's going to go wrong in the way of the team that they're watching, and they're just going to be like, they're cheating.
I'll tell you this, man. Like, I mean, that BS with the Sharks, whatever. We got past it.
We won. You know what we did? We won.
Yeah.
We won it out. Like,
me and Marcus, we won.
We won it. Us. We put on the pads.
We got out there and we were like, all right, the Blues need us. No, but
Bash Brothers.
That proverbial we. Then last night, everybody's like, oh, well, if the Blues win the cup, that's going to be an asterisk next to their names. Like, no, dude, they got outplayed last night, and really, they got outgoaled because their attackers were firing, but Bennington won that game last night.
If it's big enough deal, you score more goals. You can't lose if you score more goals. Than
everything, remember at the beginning of Game 3, we were talking about how he was going to get the MVP, and then
no,
he kind of
he boofed it.
He kind of boofed it that game, but he came back man,
breaking some records. So
yeah,
he would.
Yeah, he's definitely redeeming the one game.
Everyone's got to.
Otherwise, he's been crushing it.
He's tired because he was kicking so much ass.
Right? Yeah, kicking ass gets tiring. I'm sure. I hear.
Every action movie, the hero gets his ass kicked a little bit before he comes back around.
Right. Yeah, it's great.
I wish the best for it. I hope it happens. It would be awesome. I think we were joking about before, like, they're going to push the arch over if we win on Sunday. It's going to happen.
That's one thing. I do hope that
they push the arch into the Mississippi River.
I just hope everybody I know we're gonna
Better there
it's gonna
than
get
the
crazy.
city. That'd be all devastating.
I just hope
What do you wanna
that
say?
we don't burn the city down, because
I don't think so, man. I don't think St.
I
Louis
got a feeling
isn't
some shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, but I don't, man. You go to
Downtown
like
specifically.
Boston and Philly and those towns and stuff. I'm not trying to talk.
Most
shit
people gotta
about
work
those
the
cities,
next day.
but yeah.
People will definitely be at work hungover, but I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I
don't-
don't see mass carnage happening. I see
We're not
maybe a
flipping
couple
cop
of
cars over in St. Louis, man.
Nah.
hope not.
Everybody's damn afraid of the police in
It'll
this
be-
town.
There will be some gunshots in the air. I know that for
Oh
certain.
yeah.
It'll be
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe.
Hoosiers, man.
Yeah.
There are gonna be a lot of people. It's gonna be wild.
It is gonna be
Win,
wild.
lose, or
I'm gonna be
draw.
at work too. I'm gonna be at
Me
work
too.
watching
Oh,
it on
I worked during the day.
watching it on my phone. No customers. Man, it's like a ghost town in the crow's nest. Actually, last night we were fairly busy, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, "What the hell are you doing here? Go somewhere you watch the game." I'm watching the game. I'm trying to help you.
What do you want?
It is funny that this is the most I've talked about sports, I think, in 5 years of doing this show.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're changing format.
You picked the right guys for it, too.
right,
It's like, oh, heavy metal guys, they
Yeah.
love sports.
right.
It totally didn't get picked on by athletes in high school.
yeah, totally.
And now they watch sports relentlessly. We're rooting for millionaires. I like the violence, honestly. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Dude, hockey, to me, hockey's my favorite sport. It's the only sport I really give a shit about. And I still, like I said, casual fan is it. I don't follow all season. I keep up a little bit, but I don't watch every game. Like I said, I don't have cable at my bar. I don't have cable at home. I look at the scores. Sometimes I look at the highlights and stuff. I keep up, but I don't.
Right.
Not especially when I was a kid, my dad and I would go to games a few a year, and in fact, for my birthday a couple years ago, my dad took me to the Winter Classic game, and that was incredible too.
Nice.
But and we popped in, we were like, oh, let's just swing by Broadway Oyster Bar afterwards and just pop in there. It'd be nice and casual and not completely jam packed. We went in for a second. We had a beer and a shot. I saw you for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get the hell out of downtown.
Oh, man, that was insane. Oh, my God.
I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, oh, you know where we could go? We can just pop into this little spot and it'll be,
Yeah.
get out of the rain and
A couple people just eating some food.
yeah, just sit down and relax and
150 people in there.
yeah, in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's hardly ever empty at Oyster Bar. The place
No.
is always
Yeah.
Hockey, I mean, going back to the casual hockey fan, we're really good friends with this band from Detroit called Failed. Mm-hmm. And years ago, we toured with the idea. I mean, it's not off the table, obviously. We don't know when it's ever going to happen, but we were going to do a split 7-inch with them, and there was.
I'm gonna go on record and say it's probably never gonna
Yeah,
happen
you're right.
at this
You're right.
point. But yeah,
Probably
yeah,
never
yeah.
gonna happen.
Not
But
because
we like to talk
yeah.
about it. It was in a year we were kind of trying to do 7 splits one year. What was that 2013,
2015, I
20
think.
whatever year. We
Whatever.
we did an interview or something like that. It was we have 7 splits we're committed to this year, and one of them was with Detroit's Failed, and the artwork was just gonna be that. Who is it? Bob Probert and who?
An old timer. I can't think of his name right now.
This brutal hockey fight.
Yeah,
just
both
two
of them
guys
blasting each other in the face at the same time.
just beating the living hell out of each other.
The cover was going to be Red Wings and Blues smashing
Duking it out, yeah.
And then the label on the record, our side, there was going to be no art except for our side label was going to have the blue note.
Yeah.
And they were going to have the whatever
Tire.
whatever that thing is.
you gotta love bullshit mascots.
Tire with the wing on it or whatever.
A Bruin's a bear,
The
right?
Amway logo, yeah, Bruin's a bear.
Yeah, so
it's
we
a
gotta-
black bear.
So we got a guy blasting a
give-
saxophone at a bear. And
I will give Boston this. Their jerseys are way cooler looking.
oh yeah.
They black and gold, man. Black
Yeah.
and gold. That's a tough looking jersey.
Yep.
It's a good color combination.
Yeah.
pleasing to
That's
the eye.
it. That's it.
Yep.
And their goalie is a monster too. Their goalie genuinely terrifies my wife.
He looks scary.
Yeah.
He's got a creepy look about
He's a
him.
beast of a goaltender. I mean, unfortunately, he's no Binnington. So
Yeah.
He's Finnish, right?
yeah,
Tuukka Rask is from Finland, right?
yeah.
Okay, we'll transition to the whole actually talking about music thing because of the Finland comment.
Yeah.
So we went to Europe last year, and the very first day of our European tour was in Helsinki, Finland. And I'll go on record right now as saying that I don't think I've ever been drunker after a show
Oh man, yeah.
than I was in Helsinki, Finland. And those people are terrifying. I have a newfound fear and respect for the Finnish.
I love them, man.
I love
They
it
were
too.
Wonderful. They
I
were
love them, but I
wonderful
think
people,
without fear and respect, love does not come easy. I threw up in the middle of the street after taking my probably 9th shot of Jim Beam. I ran. Our hotel thankfully was around the corner that we got set up in. I ran out to the middle of the street, violently puked in the middle of the street. All this whiskey and semi-warm Carlsberg we were drinking, and this.
I thought we were drinking those Brooklyn lager. That doesn't
No,
matter.
it was that maybe. Yeah. I think
It doesn't matter, yeah.
whatever it was, whatever those Finnish guys, and they're by the way, if you ever go to Finland and you want to get everybody in the bar to buy you a drink, just go kibis, which is their word for cheers. They will freak out. They love that shit. So I run out, I puke in the middle of the street, and I don't usually puke from drinking. I'm like a once every 5 years puke from drinking guy. Like that's not my bag. I don't party like that hardly anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm violently vomiting in the street, and Kenny can attest to how loud I can vomit. This Finnish guy is walking down the street. This is like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Almost. I mean, like damn near the middle of the night.
We're barely even done drinking at
Barely
that
even.
point.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, you boot and rallied.
I'm violently thrown up. This guy's walking down the street on his phone, and he looks at me and just says something in Finnish to me, and I just go, "Oh, what the fuck." Vomit dripping out of my mouth and my beard, and this guy has a visibly shaken look on his face and just fucking runs away from me down the street. It was kind of rainy and shit, so there's street lights.
Were you
reflected on
running to the hostel or
I was trying to
whatever?
run to the hotel to puke there, but I didn't make it. I fucking puked in the middle of the street. Just looked at this guy.
Yeah, you don't know. You're in a new
20
country we've never been to. It's like, am I going to go to prison if I vomit on the street?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run back to my hotel and hopefully I remember
Those guys that got us wrecked, those two big dudes,
Yeah.
we were there and they were ready for us to get drunk. And at first I'm like, okay, this is day one of tour. We just, we
just landed. There's a little bit of anxiety. There was no
Yeah,
need
we were
anywhere.
in the U.S. that morning, and then we flew all day. And
We had a brutal travel for that. We caught a bus at 3 a.m. from St. Louis
to
Chicago, and we waited around at O'Hare for 7 hours,
Something
8 hours.
like that.
Then got on a plane to
Philly.
Iceland.
No, Philly first. We flew from Chicago to Philly, didn't we?
No, we went from Chicago straight to Helsinki.
Are you?
Chicago via Iceland.
Where did we get the? I thought we were in Philly and we got the Mexican food. Anyways, it was a long.
It was a long
trip.
day. It was something at the end of the day we traveled for something 26 hours or something like that. Constant travel.
And we landed and just started drinking pretty much. We met up at church.
We got out. Yeah, we met up at church at the airport in
That was the
Helsinki
band we
in
were on tour
Iceland.
with. Church,
Yeah.
from Sacramento.
And we had an hour layover in Iceland. And we were waiting on a weird tram system and it was raining and shit, and it was freaky, desolate landscape. This airport's just in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's close. It's the
volcanic
Reykjavik.
rock and sleet.
Freaky,
is what they made. Made Iceland out
otherworldly
of.
sort of stuff. You're not used to. I'm not used to seeing that kind of landscape. We've driven through the desert in Wyoming and almost every landscape the U.S. has to offer. That's just otherworldly shit that I've never seen in my life. And
then we land in Finland, which is weird. Finland is exactly this. It's almost Scandinavian, but really more Russian.
Big time.
It's just right there. It's you could get to Russia faster than you could get to Norway and stuff. Because what is that, the Horn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we get there, met up with church, and we didn't even have our driver. Our driver met up with us in Norway the next day.
Yeah, we just had a liaison.
We had a one-off. We flew in to Finland. We played the show. We got absolutely hammered for hours. And then the bar closed late. And then after the bar closed, they still let us stay and just kept feeding
locked the
us.
door.
We drank. I probably had a bottle of Fernet to myself when all was said and done.
And they had weird.
These guys were just dumping, and they were for a while there, I was like, man, they either love us or they want to kill us.
They're gonna rob us.
Yeah. And they were these big old dudes, and I'm a big guy, and this guy, this dude had hands that You ever see those pictures where like the dad has his baby's hand in his hand? Like that's what it looked like if I would have put my big ass hand in his hand. It was just like. So, anyways, yeah. The next day we flew to Norway, and we got up. Obviously, we're all a little hungover. Actually, not as hungover as we should
I
have
puked.
been.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, but we got in the shuttle and we flew to. Also, side note: the Helsinki airport. The Helsinki airport code is HEL. And like all over, like it's probably one of the nice. It's definitely one of the nicest airports I've ever been to. Maybe Norway's is nicer, but the Helsinki airport is really big. It just says "Welcome to Hell," really big. But we flew into Norway, and that's where we met our driver. And then she was with us, Julia. She was with us the rest of the tour. But yeah, Helsinki, Finland. Those guys, they.
I fear and respect the Finns.
Yeah. Looking forward to next time we go back.
Right?
Yeah.
I recently had Earthworms on the show.
Yeah.
Matt and Moff and all and Carrie, and they were talking about some of their travels into Europe, and I forget what town they were in over there, but basically had a similar story as your guys' except for it was with weed that was legal over there.
Oh, yeah.
And so like they started just they went to this place and they just started giving them like all sorts of weed and like and
European weed is that's what it is.
Kind of
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's more of a necessity than it is like a fun thing over there. Like it's
I feel like tobacco might be stronger in Europe
I think so,
than
too.
weed is.
yeah, well, they
Yeah.
were saying like I don't know. Carrie was saying something along the lines like they kept asking like that if he could smoke that in there, and he's like, "There's no tobacco in it, right?" Or something like that. And he's like,
there's spliffs. Yeah. I got wrecked out a couple of times.
They
with
like
that.
to mix
Yeah.
weed with tobacco. For
Yeah,
sure.
Right,
they're afraid of the pure weed joint. They watched us.
Which I don't know why, because their weed's, like I said, not that strong.
Yeah.
What was it, the UK? That guy was like, "Fucking hell, you're gonna put all weed in that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's how we smoke."
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I couldn't do that, man." It's like,
I don't think that they like to add extra cheese to their Whoppers over there. Like over here, or like a little more like into excess. And that's honestly kind of how I am with weed. Is like I'm kind of like I like to be a little stoned. I don't like to be zonked out of my skull. But even still, I mean, like we were leaving the Netherlands, and we had a bunch of. This is the first time we were in Europe with Primitive Man, and we had a bunch of weed because we were
crossing a border.
Yeah, and we were gonna go into Denmark where it was illegal. I guess I don't remember exactly. Either way, we were crossing an international border. We're
going out of the European
us,
Union, is what it was, is what Nico said.
Yeah. So that was what it was, and so we had these joints that were like the size of drumsticks. Like they were huge.
5 of us.
Yeah, each had our own joint, and they were just massive, and we're like just trying to get rid of all the weed.
Standing out in front of the hotel,
smoking these
it
whole
like cigarettes.
things down, like and get in the van. And we're in the van for about 20, 30 minutes, and Ethan from Primitive Man was like, "Hey, Kenny, are you high?" And I was like, "I guess. I mean, like, I feel like with the amount of weed I just smoked, I should be, like, terrified and, like, trying to hide under the seat of my car, or of the vehicle, you know."
Don't call on me in math class high.
Yeah, but I was just like, I feel okay. Probably smoked like 2 grams of weed to myself, and yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure there's good stuff over there, and like I know their hash culture is crazy there, but
Whatever good stuff they had,
mix it
they
with
weren't selling to
tobacco
us.
Right.
Yeah,
It's funny.
that could be too. Maybe they're just like give the Americans the shitty stuff.
They had
That very
and
well
the promoters.
could be too.
The promoters are great. God bless all those promoters who would come up to me and in broken English say, "Here is all your accommodations. Could not find you any pot. There is a man coming to the show. He will sell you pot." I was like, "Cool, thank you, thank you very much." That was the dude in the Czech Republic. Fucking broke it down. Could not find you pot. We have whiskey. We have beer. We have ice cubes for you.
Bad scotch.
Oh, God,
which
that scotch
they
was-
kept sticking in the fridge. Ballantines.
Ooh.
And we'd pull it out of the fridge and leave it on the table so it wouldn't be cold. And he'd come back in while we weren't there, make sure that everything's in order, like our backstage stuff.
Yeah. Keep an
And
eye
he
on our
would
bags
see,
and whatnot.
and he would see the scotch on the table, and he would, put it back in the fridge.
Oh, they must have left it
And
out.
I'd pop back in there, or he'd pop back in there and be like, fuck, if we pull it back up, put it on the table. It was like back and forth all night. And we never like caught each other to say, hey, don't,
Leave that
we
out.
don't want to
leave that
drink
out.
it cold. I guess in the Czech Republic, they like cold scotch. They probably don't like scotch at all. That's why
Yeah.
it's awful.
I feel like, ugh.
So I don't know what they drink in the Czech Republic. Licorice root, or I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. We drank a lot of Jack Daniels that night.
Yeah. Yeah, they provided us with that. That was pretty cool.
There you go.
The guy we stayed with made sure that he's a guy of Jack Daniels.
No, that was left over from the Netherlands.
Oh, it was? We bring that?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Well, I guess I wanted to kind of get to know a little bit more about Kenny, being this your first appearance on the show. Marcus was sharing. We did a 2 years ago. About this time, we did episode 420, hanging out here talking to Marcus, and he was telling me some stories of some of the early days of Fister and stuff. So, but I thought it'd be fun to get your take on some of these stories. It's like,
Sure.
I guess you guys are both founding members of the group, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I guess, and Fister's been around now for
10 years.
Yep.
This October will be the exact 10-year mark,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, October. Yeah, I moved in with you in October that year. I guess we really didn't talk about playing music at all until like a couple weeks after I moved in. So yeah, mid-October. Truthfully, I guess would be that. I wasn't writing anything like this before that, so yeah. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and smash that up. Get it 4 months early.
Yeah.
It's our birthday
Yeah.
quarter.
It's a birth year.
It's our birthday quarter year.
Everybody, is like, oh, it's your birthday week.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Maybe every 10 years you can do that.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Stick around for our 11-year anniversary show.
Well, you guys working on some any anniversary stuff like that for 10 years, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
New record
Yeah.
will come out in October in the U.S., September in Europe.
Listenable records.
Listenable records out of France. Wonderful people. Let us put out a cover record, so it's going to be a cover record. Marcus, you want to reveal the title?
Yeah. Decade of Depression.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That is the title.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is no way inspired by Decade of Aggression by Slayer or Decade of Decadence by Motley Crue. It's a completely original title,
Exactly.
like all the songs on this cover record, all originals.
They're ours, but they're somebody else's.
I mean, somebody else wrote them and performed them and made the songs, but they're originals.
Well, keep an eye out for that. We do, I guess, get involved online and follow Facebook and stuff. And,
Yeah,
and all that.
I think the official annagement's coming sooner than later.
Yeah.
I think it's coming sooner than later.
I think that's kind of on us. I think we have to help with like some kind of press release. Or
Yeah.
something that I'm just more right now, just making sure that the artwork is in order right now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did this is our second record with him. Actually, we did a full length last year. Since you and I talked last, we pulled one out. We did our first full length with them, and it was our fourth actual full length album total. With them.
Yeah.
So working on getting through that relationship with those guys. They're great. They've been good to us.
Let's talk. You're talking about that record. Let's put one out there that from that album. And you guys said you wanted to share a song called "No Spirit Within."
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Title track.
Title track.
Yeah, and this is available digitally everywhere. And
Digitally everywhere on vinyl.
From us, if you want to come by the practice space and buy it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got a few left.
There's quite a few in Europe.
Yeah.
I think there might be some on Amazon right now. And we have some on our web store too. Is that fister.limitedrun.com or Fister? No, it's fisterdoom.limitedrun.com.
There's links to that in all of our
all our
social
social
media.
media crap.
Yeah.
If you Google and do an NSFW tag on there.
Digital, vinyl, CD. In Europe, there's some tapes.
Yeah. There's some tapes
The label
floating around.
owes us tapes, by the way, but I don't know if we'll ever get them. They might have accidentally sold them all.
Yeah. There was only 100, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Right on.
There's on Discogs if you want to spend a bunch of crazy money.
Yeah. If you want to spend way too much money you
on
can
old
get
stuff,
get our out of print stuff on.
That's some nerd who
Discogs.
still won't come out to our shows in the cities that we will buy.
But
actually, a lot of
spend $300 on a record that we sold for $10
Exactly.
5 years ago. Yeah.
It's like, oh hey man, we're playing like 5 miles. Nah.
I don't want to look at you guys.
Yeah, I just want to flip your vinyl.
Yeah, I just want to flip your records. Yeah, for sure.
And to be safe, a lot of those nerds are rad people that we've met on the road from being out there.
We met them. I wouldn't say they're rad. I'm just kidding.
No, since day one, Kenny is really good at the internet, and
yeah, it turns out
Kenny's really good at the internet. And our early days, I was telling you about how Mari from Sludge Swamp was the one who reviewed our first demo and like took it seriously, and we were just like, oh, okay.
That was crazy. That was honestly a lot of luck because like we didn't even send that to her. Like that was just they just stumbled upon that record, and that was like the beginning of any kind of success for us. I mean, we probably would have hung it up if it weren't for that. I mean, maybe not then, obviously. But
no, yeah. I mean, there was...
But, just kind of like the steps in, like... Steps to success.
Yeah.
Not that, not that we're doing anything major, but, like... that was our first little push, I think, as far as anybody finding out about us. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember, like, the only reason we even knew it was on her... Like, it was one of those blogger pages. The only reason we knew anything about that was we started selling a bunch of shirts and our Bandcamp was starting to light up. Like just one day out of the blue, like all these orders were coming through. I was like, what the hell? So I think I Googled Fister Bronsonic and I saw that Sludge Swamp posted it and there were like 1,000 views or whatever. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. And we actually, the first time we played we played Roadburn Festival in 2015, and she came out, and it was the first time I got to meet her. And
at that point, we've been banned for like 6 years.
Yeah,
it was like our maybe like
she's like, thanks for coming out. I was like, thank you. I mean,
she thanked us for flying.
Yeah,
here.
we wouldn't be here.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. I got like some friends, like especially like there's like a YouTube channels that'll like put their songs on like a playlist or now Spotify has been big on doing that, but like just getting like those lists and stuff have like such a following that like just getting on there can get you like so many thousands of plays or whatever it is, and like people start taking notice and like again like all over the world, and you might not ever meet them, but it's cool that they're listening to your music and stuff. And
it's crazy. Like yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty wild. I know, like I have friends, they used to be Hollow Point Heroes. Now they're going by Outrun the Fall, and they're, pretty heavy, and actually done some recording over here at Encapsulated. But they, like, some of their videos have like over 1 million, views and all this stuff. And it's like, it's just nuts to think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
People are sitting and watching that.
Right.
Yeah.
And listening to it.
I have like this weird thing, I don't know if it's a condition or not, where it's just really hard for me to wrap my head around the sheer like population of the world.
All right.
It's like, I know there's what, like 1 billion? Are there 1 billion people?
8 billion people.
8 billion, yeah. It's nuts to me.
Right.
That's crazy. Like
8 billion
at
fucking
the end of the world, like at the end of the day, like it's like you could tell me that, but I'm still like, really? There's probably just about 7,000 or 8,000.
How many people can there be?
It's so like crazy to think about. Yeah, like that many people on the planet. So then, like the idea of like a million people watching a video, it's like, well, that's like everybody.
Right.
Holy shit!
Everybody saw it.
How have you not seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That damage in my brain that's just hard for me to accept how many people there are.
Sure. Yep. But big shout out to her to helping. That's the thing, man. It's just like it's very powerful. Somebody believing in you guys early on. I mean, anything like that. Just like somebody says, like, this is cool. Like, this is something here. Like, even if you guys didn't believe it yourself, but like,
sure,
somebody else that was saying keep doing this. And
it made us take the band way more seriously, for sure.
Oh, I gotta say,
we
for
did
sure.
not take it seriously at first. Like, it was fun, and we were like, oh, we could do this, and that'll be cool.
Somehow people have come to us with like, oh, you guys are doing something special. Here's a little bit of help. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of that. Like,
a lot of people
through
have
the
like
years,
low key believed
yeah.
believed in what we were doing, and it like gave it so much more legitimacy. I think back to like days when our practices now are like, it's so like responsible. It's hard for me to like. It's hard. I feel so weird. Oddly, I mean, we're from some fucking degenerate rock and roll scumbags, but we come to practice every week, and we need to tighten up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it's business time.
It's like,
for sure,
exactly. I mean, like
we're paying for the room, and we're here.
Yeah,
like,
it's
we're here. What, like
it's
12 hours a month? It's not in the scheme of like rent and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
a storage
it's
locker, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, but it facilitates.
So when
for whenever we do professional shit.
Yeah.
But it's like it takes its toll on you in the way that like you just feel accomplished whenever you get shit done.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this band especially, we've been. I mean, like everything we do, we've been just very cautious and made sure we've done it respectful and try to do it right by the way we see it.
Eventually, I feel like we didn't used to, but
no, not at all. I mean, there are some early shows I don't remember. I mean, shit.
Oh yeah, we would get so drunk before shows and just stink them up. I was talking to Ben Schulte, who is going to be running sound at our show. We can talk about that later. But he was our second guitar player for just our first show.
Yeah.
And we were talking the other night. We were at Whiskey Ring on Cherokee, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I played your first show. I get to run sound for your last show." It's not our last show, but yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know what's going to happen. And
who's got their finger on the button?
Right. But he's like, "Man, we sucked." He's like, "Yeah, we did."
Yeah.
Like, and like, we were not good. We sucked. And like Thorlock, they played that show. They're playing this show, and they were so cool. They were like, "Man, I like that like second to last riff." That's nice, a compliment. Like,
Thanks,
that's like
man. Thanks
he like
for
had to
leaving a
like
little lemonade out of that for
Jesse
me.
had to really dig in there to find something he liked about our set.
Yeah.
In our defense, we played with Yakuza.
We weren't.
And Bruce from Yakuza, who I saw not that long ago. I think they're from Chicago, and they were on their way down to South by Southwest. I think it was 2010, and they were like, "Hey, your band should play with," because if I knew him back from Creepy Crow, I was like, "Your band should play with us in St. Louis." And he's like, "Oh no, we're not ready to play live yet." And he's like, "No, it's gonna be cool. It'll be cool." And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, like, I think maybe talk me into it too. And it's like, "Guys, we're going to play a show." And everyone's like, "What?" Kirk didn't even play it.
Kirk wasn't even ready yet. We had to get the drummer of a band I was in's drummer to do it.
Yeah, it was just a shit show. It really was. But
we got through it.
But after that show, from then on, we've never sucked since, except for every show, probably for about a year.
Yeah.
I think our first good show was that I Hate God show.
We got some stinkers out of the way.
Yeah,
couple
we
we don't
played
know.
that I Hate God show, and we really tightened it
ready for
up.
it,
And
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we probably played like 5 or 6 like crappers.
Well,
Like that show at Lemons, not very good. At like 2 in the afternoon.
That's
like
not the time. We don't need to be playing that.
daylight peeking in the windows.
Yeah, man. We played a festival at noon one time a couple years ago too. That was odd. We were the first band of the day. It was like 11:45 or Full Terror Assault.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even that long ago.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, we ripped that one. Yeah,
We're fucking. Of course,
we crushed that one.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we played for like 20 people.
We sat around like, okay, all right. Fuck, played and then
Yeah, it was
busted a move as Master was playing.
Shout out to Full Terror Assault. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
well, you guys can come see Fister live on June 15th in St. Louis, Missouri at the Ready Room. And you will be playing with the mentioned Thorlock. And
Their grand return.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
been, what, 5 years, you said?
About 5 years, I think. Yeah. Since
So-
they played a show. That was the first band we asked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's if there's
Yeah,
one
like,
band I
you
could
gotta
think.
play with us. And
Yeah, we
we're
got to
like,
bring back a
yes,
blast from the past for sure.
Nice.
But they're like, yeah, it's hard to explain what they are. They're like real rock and roll. Probably like some of the most heavy real rock and roll that's
Absolutely.
being played in the Midwest for sure.
They're like a Keishi 95 tattoo come to life. And
That's
in,
on the
in a
side
good way. Yeah, yeah,
that's on
yeah.
the side of
I
the-
could see that being an insult, but it's not.
No,
it's
no,
like, yeah.
that's perfect. It's like that the KC 95 sticker slapped on the side of the ZZ Top Eliminator car.
Yes.
There you go.
But a person in the band.
And then there's two other guys in the band, and they are also that person. And they're from outer space. And that is your new bio, Thorlock.
Yeah, man. Let's see that. Update that bio right now.
And also, Blackwell and Slow Damage. Blackwell's a new band. They're young dudes, and they're awesome, ripping black metal. And Black Death, I guess. I don't know. They're awesome.
Kind of.
And then Slow Damage, Brandon from Everything Went Black, Chris from Everything Went Black. And we played a lot of shows with Everything Went Black when we first started. Mm-hmm. And we got a rich history with them. And they're done. And Slow Damage is awesome as well. And so, yeah, Brandon's flying in from Vegas to play this show. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to next Saturday, for sure.
So, yeah, come on out. Tickets available now. And
Tickets are available now at the Ready Rooms website. $10, $12 day of show, because we are not playing around. We want your money. Four Hands is sponsoring it, which I don't know what that means for drinks, but it's good for us. So,
yeah. So grab a cold can of Four Hands for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And show some love. I did, as we're talking here, guys, I noticed you both have the same tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
couple of different ones.
That's crazy. We've got a
Couple of them, yeah.
You guys didn't know you had the same tattoo?
Tour tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is there. What's the story about that one there?
So the one of them is with the first one we got was with Primitive Man. Mm-hmm. They took us to Europe. They pretty much Ethan from Primitive Man books us now.
Yeah, he's our U.S. booking agent.
U.S. booking agent. Yeah, and I mean, as far as it goes for me, that the significance for that for me is like I never thought for 1 second doing bong rips in a bedroom on Hartford Street, recording demos with a turbo rat plugged straight into a computer that I'd ever get a chance to go to Europe, and let alone like semi get a chance to do something I've always dreamed of doing. And a lot of that I think was from knowing those guys and like them stepping up to bat for us as far as like giving us a chance. And we did a split album with them that came out on A389 Records. Mm-hmm. And
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, A389, big time. Yeah, Dom, bring it back, man. Come on.
We broke the label now.
Yeah,
I don't think that had anything to do with us. That record sold well.
Yeah, and then
wanted
totally.
to focus on family or whatever. Yeah,
he's also the guitar player for the band Integrity too. So, and they're kind of a band again. So, but we got back from Europe. We had another show scheduled with them. They were coming through on tour in their American tour in St. Louis like a month or two later, maybe like not even a month later. We're like, some tour tattoos, man. So we all went over to Tower Classic. The show was at the Demo. Rest in peace, the Demo.
Mm-hmm. Broke it.
We broke that one too. Don't let us play any venue. You will close.
Don't let us touch anything.
Yeah, we were like, shit. Yeah, exactly. We're like a some kind of necrotic famine. Just don't let us get anywhere near anything. So yeah, we got those with Primitive Man. It was the significance is it says it's a balaclava with the letters SNAFF, and it stands for Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, because we got really fucking drunk one night with John from Primitive Man and in the Czech Republic at the apartment we stayed at, and we were just watching.
First, we started watching Queensryche videos.
We were watching Queensryche videos on Czech YouTube. And somehow we just started jamming classics, and then fucking Elton John came up. We were watching a video from 1984 from Wembley Stadium, Elton John playing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and
destroying
it completely, kicking ass.
Anybody
look that up on YouTube right now. Just look it up on YouTube.
Elton
it's about
John
twice as fast. This shit's wet. It's raw.
He had that little barbershop
He looked
quartet hat
he
on.
looked like he was part of the barbershop quartet. Jacket and hat. The guy looked. He was kicking so much ass.
Dude,
and it
just like
and it became
drinking like a glass of water just with like mixed with like cocaine, like
Yeah.
it's Kool-Aid, like just
so this
ripped it. The whole band. Was,
so yeah, exactly. So we just kind of like latched onto that, and then being in Europe sometimes
that became the kind of like the underlying
whenever
tour
things were going
theme was
bad.
Saturday night's all right for a fight.
Yeah.
Well, then like we were ready to throw down with some dude,
some
in,
German guy that was bullshitting with Primitive Man over the price of a record or some
in
bullshit.
Dresden, Germany.
Yeah.
And he was talking about he was going to come out and bring his friends to
Every
the show.
every show, in Germany, he was just talking mad shit, and then they would just stand behind the merch booth and be like, Thomas Anderson,
That's what is there. Thomas.
approach the merch booth.
Hey, Thomas Anderson from Germany, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's a record. Buy it. That's how the band gets paid. You fuck. But yeah, so that's that one. And then Kenny, what about the other one?
So we got the Cleavers. We were on tour with and Alex, their drummer, knew this shop in New York,
Queens.
and in Queens, and we it was Friday the 13th, and he's like, oh, there's a shop, and we can all get a cheap tour tattoo or whatever, and so we showed up at what was it, Golden something? Do you have the
Washington.
You have the memory.
It was on Washington Boulevard in Queens. That's all I remember.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. A guy named Steve that did my tattoo.
Yeah. So we all got these Cleavers. We were torn between these and Spiders, and it's funny too because like right after I think, like he was like the tattooer that was doing mine. I think I was like maybe the third one. There were two different tattooers working on them, but he was like finishing up mine, and he's like, "So, what do you guys like, juggalos or something?" I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. It's like, yeah, they have that guy that holds a cleaver, but calls it a hatchet. You know, it's like and it's on my hand, and whatever. It's no, we're not juggalos, asshole.
Like, no disrespect to juggalos. I mean,
whatever.
do what you do.
Absolutely.
Get wild. Talk about clowns.
I have an employee that's a juggalo, and he's one of my favorite people.
I've laughed many times at early ICP skits when I was a kid, listening to it on cassette tape.
Oh yeah.
In the summer, smoking opium.
Summer of opium.
Yeah, 14 years old or some shit like that. Oh yeah, that's an interesting little story. When I was 14 years old, the first actual drug that I ever smoked that wasn't pot was opium.
I think I was around the same age. No, I was like maybe 16 or 17.
Also, where's the opium at? St. Louis?
Yeah, I've done it
Let's
once.
decriminalize that shit. Let's bring that back. I want to.
Well, you know, it's
have
heroin.
a lazy, hazy afternoon.
You know,
and
it's
opium
heroin, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Never mind.
It seems way more innocent when like you mix it in a blunt with weed with your friend. Like, oh, I got some opium. You're like, oh, okay. It's a way more harmless feeling. Yeah. I saw, what is it? Now, is it Once Upon a Time in America?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll mess you up.
Yeah. It's been hard. It's been very negatively depicted in old westerns. I don't want to do
not that movie. No, what's the dang it. Is that De Niro? Is it Once Upon a Time?
I think it's Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, opium's bad. Let's just
don't do opium.
Yeah, opium's dumb. Don't do
We're
it.
off Fister. We're off the opium.
We're off the opium. No more opium, man.
For decades.
Yeah. Let's get the medical marijuana going.
You mentioned the Elton John and stuff. Are you guys gonna go watch Rocket Man?
I haven't.
Eventually, I will
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. I don't know. It's not. Well, it's not. It's like they just did like a sneak preview theater. The guy said he thought he like. Okay, so this is kind of why I don't want to see it, because a guy who thought Bohemian Rhapsody was a better movie than Rocket Man said he didn't like it. He was just like, man, Bohemian Rhapsody was a better movie. Huh. And I kind of don't want to see Bohemian Rhapsody because they fired Sacha Baron Cohen from originally doing it. And he was going to do like a straight raw, crazy, wild-ass R-rated Freddie Mercury movie, which I think kind of we deserve that. He's fucking dead. He can't defend himself. So I think... I mean, everyone likes to look away when people have like tarnished past, except for that movie The Dirt about Motley Crue. They had all the bad shit in there for sure. They did not
I even still
glorify any of
heard
that.
that they kind of sugarcoated that, but I never watched it.
Yeah, and they did. Then you kind of gotta. But like, I don't know. I think Sacha Baron Cohen's a pretty amazing actor. And no disrespect to the guy who won the Oscar or whatever for being in that movie.
Won an Oscar.
Did they win an Oscar for that?
Something like that.
Was Oscar nominated? He got nominated for an Oscar for sure. I'm
Not
sure.
by you.
Not by me. Not by my academy.
Speaking
He
of
did-
Alex Fermont, I think they're like buds.
he went to kindergarten, so like they went to school his whole life with him or something. The guy who filled in for Drumsters in Europe last year, he's a Hollywood, or he does like
He's a Hollywood executive.
he's
not-
high powered.
He does
effects.
special effects.
Yeah, practical effects. He does practical effects on sci-fi movies and horror movies and stuff.
Very cool.
He did some cool prosthetic work for a video of ours, a music video of ours. His studio Nightmare Force did it. Like
No, Nightmare Force did the masks. His studio is
Hex FX or whatever.
he's got that, and then it's the other one is I'm awful. Shout out to Alex Bittner.
Alex
We love
Bittner,
you.
yeah, we love
They
him.
are. I'm looking at. I see the logo in my head and I can't read it. It's.
We can amend this.
I'm gonna look it up right
Yeah,
now.
we can amend this.
It's new. It was their first production. Come
Yeah.
on, don't get mad.
No, yeah, we'll edit this to his favor or not. He's not gonna listen to it. He might. I'll tell him to and be like, hey man, listen to this podcast.
Here it is. It is called
So he did this video. Pretty
Google.
careful.
Google.com.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Doomed Asylum. Doomed Asylum Production.
Doomed Asylum Productions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We had to look
Sorry,
that up,
Alex.
Alex. Anyways, yeah.
Nice. Well,
They do good work.
yeah, I don't know. I've heard good things about the movie. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's. I haven't watched.
I'll watch it.
I haven't watched the Bohemian Rhapsody one yet either. But
I'll watch that one too.
Yeah, but
When they're on Netflix.
I
I'm not gonna. I won't malign anybody to
Amazon
watch.
Prime.
I definitely. I mean, anything biopic, I'll check
sure.
out.
I just think. I think Elton's got a pretty wild story to share. So
Big
Oh,
time.
yeah, he does.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'm actually probably gonna really dig it because I love Elton John.
He's the crocodile rocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What did they? I haven't watched The Dirt either. Did they talk about like the?
Car accident?
No, like the they were like used to like shoot up straight Jack Daniels and all that stuff. Like and
That wasn't in the movie, but they
Yeah.
did some pretty crazy stuff. The whole Ozzy Osbourne snorting a line of ants off the
Oh, yeah.
ground and drinking piss off the ground. That was in there.
I just thought that. I think I don't know where he
The
told
guy
it.
that played Ozzy in that movie killed it too, by the way.
I don't know who was telling where that I heard that story, but I was like,
That's a thing. Yeah, that's in his book.
yeah,
I think.
but that was pretty wild.
Yeah, it's very like. It makes Motley Crue look pretty cool when like the end of the movie is like them. Like, what was the end of the movie?
I never saw it.
Oh man! So the end of that movie, it's like them walking up the stairs, and it's like 1997, and it's like that record. What was it? Fucking called Generation Swine, I think is the name of the record. And like that's how the movie ends. It's like Motley Crue come back after like 5 years of whatever.
Was that when they had the different singer?
No, it was Vince Neil.
Okay.
It was a
So
real
I know
deal
they had
Motley
a
Crue.
different singer for a minute.
They kicked him out. That's the first record back with Vince Neil.
Oh, okay.
That
Like I give a shit about Motley Crue. fuck Motley Crue. Fuck Nicky
Let's go on the
Sixx.
record right now.
Fuck
and just
Tommy
say,
Lee.
Fuck,
Fuck
'em
the
all,
whole
yeah.
lot. Yeah, fuck Vince
Mick
Neil.
Mars is
Mick
cool.
Mars is cool. Yeah, Mick Mars. Fucking shout out to Bone Disease.
what's
Poor guy.
what's that?
It looked like he was 70 back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Fucking dude it also didn't take no shit.
Yeah.
It's like half baked to fuck you, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Mick Mars
Exactly.
is cool.
Yeah, definitely throwing the cheeseburger at Tommy Lee for sure.
Yeah, that. Have you guys seen that video of like Vince Neil singing and then
Oh God, man, it's fucking
That's
terrible.
from a few years back, apparently, but man,
He fucking sucked back in the day. I heard.
Kickstart my heart.
those
Dude, I saw his porno, by the way. I saw the Vince Neil porno, and it is as good as his singing. Just awful. It was like, I don't remember why. I think so. Family Video has an adult section where you can rent
behind the saloon doors.
pornos. Yeah, and can you grab me one of those, brother?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'll take one. We're partying.
Grab one more. All right.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Family Video had an adult section, and me and this girl I was dating at the time, who will remain nameless. Just because, who cares? We were there, and I think we just saw it, and we were like, should we rent this? The Vince Neil porno? It came out after the Tommy Lee porno.
Right.
And which everybody knows about that one.
Gotta love that kind of competition.
Right.
You gotta love that.
That was it. It was like, oh, Tommy Lee made one, I'll make one.
That's the perfect Dante's Peak
It's
to
like,
Armageddon for
dude,
sure.
Dude, Vince Neil, don't. He did, and he was all fat. He's got like I remember him like and his wife, and I think like they got some chick, and they like he was like fucking her like in like a cave off the side of a beach. And it was like not even like tastefully done. It was like they got the camcorder. It was real crappy.
It was real bad.
But the best part, aside from the fact that like he just like kind of lousy at sex and stuff, is which he shouldn't be because he was in Motley Crue. You think he'd like rock at sex?
He is.
But, yeah,
well
whatever.
practiced.
He was like. These, mind you, like Vince Neil and his wife are totally like Key West, just like
Oh yeah, some straight trash. Yeah.
No, shout out to Key West. Key West
sucks.
is beautiful, but yeah. Yeah, it's just whatever, you know. He's just they're those people for sure. The best part though is he has a tattoo on his ass, and it's like the USDA beef stamp. I swear to God, he's got that tattooed on his ass, and it might be his only tattoo. I don't remember, but
Oh
I mean,
man. Vince Neil.
well, when he gets high on speed. Yeah. So I saw that porno,
Yeah.
rented it, watched it, and returned it.
Rewinded it too, probably.
Well, I think it might have been a DVD.
Even better.
Point. It might have. I think it was a DVD at that point. It was
Man.
like early 2000s.
Renting DVD porn.
Yeah, you bet.
Get the high quality.
Rented a porno. I think it was the only porno I've ever rented. We were like, we gotta. I guess I think we were already there
gotta rent
renting.
this
We were already there renting a movie, and we're like, let's check out the adult section. See, I don't know, whatever. We're adults. Let's go in there and fucking take a look. And that's what we came out with. We're like, all right, this is the
Man,
one.
we're getting this.
Totally.
We're getting this right here.
And I remember like asking the guy at the car, I was like, is this any good? And they didn't know.
Oh man, hey, is this Vince Neil porno any good? That's better than Motley Crue.
I don't know if I've ever told that story. I mean, I had to have, right?
Cashier's like, I'd rather watch him fuck than sing Dr. Feelgood.
Dude, any day. And you know damn well he didn't have the rights to any other songs for his
No
pornos.
way, he couldn't even
it's
play
just
Motley Crue in the background.
You just hear Margaritaville in the distance playing out of somebody's boat.
Playing out of his boat, probably.
Right.
He probably knows Jimmy Buffett. He's like, don't hit me with no fucking.
I gotta like find that porno.
Imagine that phone calls. It's
Watch
like
it
like
again.
9:30 at night. Fucking Jimmy Buffett gets the call and he's like, hey, what's going on, Vince? What the hell, man? What are you calling me for, man? What's going on? I haven't talked to you in a couple years. Royalties? What are you talking about, man? What's going on?
Royal.
A porno? You and your wife? What do I got to do with this, Vince? Man, I'm here. I'm trying to eat dinner, man. It's fucking 9:30 down here.
Whatever. That's not how it went down. Jimmy Buffett was holding the camera. Drunk.
Fucker, dude. Fucker, Vince.
Oh man, we gotta watch that video sometime.
Oh
not.
man, hey, if
Whatever.
anybody has a
It's
copy of Vince
nobody-
Neil's porno, you're getting into our show free next Saturday.
Yeah, and you show up with it, and I know damn well you've never
Used to
jacked
be
off to
actually
it.
also. This is a
Not-
good time to mention this too. This is a standing order. If you have a DVD copy of the movie Coneheads, you get into any Fister show for free. If we get to keep the copy.
Yeah,
of
we get the
Coneheads.
copy. You
Yep.
trade us your copy of Coneheads on DVD, and
You get
we'll
into
let
any
you
show for free.
This offer stands until it happens.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we're going to sell that
Yeah.
on eBay and put it in the gas tank.
Yeah, amazing. Should have just had them pay the cover.
Yeah, right.
need
No,
to see
he'd
it.
never seen the movie, and it was a tour every single day of this tour. Was it last year or the year before, something like that?
Something like that.
It's something like that. We're on the East Coast, and it was like, hey, what's up, Atlanta? We'll be here tonight.
Got
At,
a DVD player in the van.
yeah, it's like, hey, what's
watch
up,
this
Atlanta?
movie.
We're playing in the basement tonight. Anybody with a copy of the movie Coneheads gets into the show for free because Kenny hasn't seen it yet. And we got a long drive the next day or something. Like we're driving into New Orleans or something the next day. Remember
It
that?
would have been perfect. I would have just sat in the back and watched the movie finally and caught the references you guys were making. Yeah, we got home from tour.
The
and like,
day we got home.
Yeah, the day we got home from tour, I was just like trying to find something to watch on I had like the Apple TV or whatever, and I was like, and I saw Coneheads was on it. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna watch Coneheads. Hell yeah! I think
Yeah, he texted me.
took a picture of the screen. I was like, dude, I'm watching Coneheads. He's like, oh fuck yeah! And then like 10 minutes later, I was asleep. I just fell asleep watching.
Shit's
Watched
dumb.
the beginning. Yeah, I was like, whatever. It's not very good. I mean, I didn't get very far. Like, I think they were still. I don't even think they were like set up yet. I think they were.
They dressed
like,
in the crazy clothes still.
They were. Yeah, they were like living. I think in like a trailer. Or
Kramer
something.
was the
don't even-
receptionist at the motel.
I don't even know if Kramer was there yet. You talking Michael Richards? No,
Yeah.
a different Kramer.
Yeah.
David Spade, was he a?
Yeah,
like,
Michael McKean.
He was a cop.
Him and Michael McKean were
Yeah,
immigration
yeah.
cops. They were INS.
Yeah, they were like
And then,
raiding
and
the
then Michael
trailer,
McKean
and then I
keeps
was
getting
out.
promoted and keeps getting promoted.
So I didn't
and
get to
pulled
see
back.
like any of like the cool like subway scenes or like.
Yeah, when Chris Farley.
I don't think Chris Farley was in it yet, so
Oh,
I need to.
man, yeah, it's
You
one of
got
the
a
best
copy of
Chris Farley
Coneheads?
appearances.
First person to walk into the ready room with a copy of Coneheads on DVD, you're in.
Yep.
After that, you walk in with a copy of the Coneheads, you go back out and you put it back in your car,
Put it back in your
and
car.
you pay a cover.
Take over.
What about like Laserdisc? Is that acceptable or?
No, it's not.
Nope.
It's not
Alright,
acceptable
yeah.
because it,
So, yeah.
it definitely was put on Laserdisc.
Oh, totally, I
it
bet,
was
yeah.
perfect. It was absolutely not acceptable because I have no way to watch it.
Low key, one of my favorite SNL movies, man. Everyone's in it. David, what is it? Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Meadows is in it later on.
That's the thing. Like that era, like there was a bunch of them that were really like not good though. Like,
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, they're kind of cult classic kind of things now, but like, you know, there was like a lot of like after.
Ladies Man. Yeah.
Well, I think it was maybe a little bit later, but like It's Pat, and I mean there was a couple.
His Pat movie was nuts.
What was the?
Ween was in that movie.
Did they do the movie?
Pat goes on tour with Ween playing tuba.
Did they? Did they make a movie for what were the cheerleaders?
Yeah, they did.
That was a whole movie.
No, they didn't. They never
Okay,
did. The
good.
Spartan cheerleaders, no, they never
Good.
did. Dude, the Pat movie's brutal. At the end of the Pat movie, Pat's hanging like from stage, and everyone and the crowd sees Pat's genitals. So like,
Oh, but you don't get to.
no,
still
you don't see
find
the you
out.
don't see the
But
gender
everybody's
reveal.
like, whoa.
Dude, that fucking movie's insane, man. That movie is like totally insane. It's definitely not a good movie, but like in context of nowadays, that movie's fucking insane.
Right,
Yeah.
Would not happen.
that part where falls down the stairs and like, oh, I crushed my nuts.
Yeah, and then there's walls. Like, all it is fucking. All it is
I need to
ambiguous jokes.
I just need to see it.
Yo, dude.
It's just an hour and a half of ambiguous jokes. I'm in.
Dude, it's awesome.
There's a part where like the neighbor's like obsessed, like trying to figure it out, and like this part where she, peeing in the bathroom, and or you think that's what it looks like, and he comes in the door and pouring out. Pat's pouring out orange juice in the toilet, so they're like, "Oh, orange juice is expired." Just pouring it in. Like,
The whole movie,
Yeah.
dude.
I need to watch it.
Have
And
you
I need
seen
to be
the,
very careful when I watch it what to laugh at.
Have you seen Stuart Staves' Family?
yeah,
The Stuart Smalley movie?
No.
Dude, you never
That's
seen
gotta
that?
be great.
Dude, that one's amazing. Man, that one's pretty good. That's another really low key. It's super shit gets like heavy in that
Yeah.
movie. Like his family sucks. Like
Yeah.
he's a freak because of his
I kind
family.
of remember, yeah, like
It's fucking rad, man. It's so good. Al Franken.
That-
I mean,
Still-
whatever
bad
controversy Al
SNL
Franken's dealing
movie.
with.
If Lorne Michaels produced a movie, bring it.
Yeah, big
And
time.
depending on which movie it is, will depend on how much you pay to get into the show.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you got a copy of Stuart Saves His Family unwrapped,
If you got Billy Madison, don't even.
yeah, we don't.
show
Yeah,
up.
we don't. Yeah.
Get out of
Adam
here.
Sandler movie, you can
Yeah.
fuck off with that. I want
Unless
B
it's Big
character.
Daddy. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that movie too.
that
I've seen it twice, also, by the way. Yeah.
that my favorite Stewart moment wasn't in the movie, but when he's talking to Michael Jordan, like that's such a classic. And gosh darn it, people like me, you know.
Michael?
Like, but yeah, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. Yeah, that was pretty iconic, man. It was, but yeah, there was definitely a ton of terrible '90s SNL movies that came out for a couple years there, and it's like SNL was like huge, and they were trying to capitalize on it, but just none of the movies were any good at all. Like,
Well, they probably all made money. They were all
I'm
cheap
sure
to make. I'm sure.
And they're all far inferior to Brain Candy.
Also a Lorne Michaels movie.
Totally.
For sure. Yeah, Brain Candy, the ultimate comedy.
Slipped in between all those, and people overlook it big time.
yeah. Well, I mean, like even like Dirty Work and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Dirty Work.
it was like people. It was one of those that like everybody hated at the time it came out, but then like now it's like a cult classic kind of
Big
thing.
time.
Like,
Oh God,
so-
I loved it. Yeah, that's great. He's like, "Are you peeing off the roof?" Yeah, that Dirty Work is. Yeah, it's up there for sure.
What does he say in the land of skunks? The man with no nose is king.
that I heard Artie was doing a bit for a while, like when people would come up to the shows and have it, try to get him to sign his DVD, he would like give him $20 to buy, pay for it or whatever, something like that, just like as like, oh, sorry about that, like here's, so like,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah, like, but
Give them their money back.
yeah, right, yeah, but
movie's
so
great.
It's funny, but yeah, like I agree, like I love it, man. It's
Artie
such a-
Lang's in a bad
You
way
go up
right
to the
now.
hills and where you can't bother anybody or whatever.
Yeah,
Get a
right.
horse or whatever.
I used to quote it all the time because so years ago my dad was dating one of my friend's moms. We all like grew up together and stuff, so like it was a kind of family friend kind of thing. But then after my parents divorced, he started dating his mom, and so it was that everybody was always like, "You guys brothers?" And we're like, "It's a long story." And then I was always be like, "Well, my dad's boning his mom." So
My dad boned his mom.
okay,
It's a short story. Oh, I love that. That's hilarious.
great.
Yeah, no, dude, Artie Lang was perfect in that movie.
Oh, man. That guy's in a bad way right
Yeah.
now. Have you seen him
Oh,
with the
man.
flat nose and everything?
Yeah. Suffering.
yeah, man.
Poor guy. I hope he gets his shit together.
Yep. Yeah, I love Art, man. The years on Stern Show, like I was
Yeah.
really, really big fan of him, and especially on the Stern Show, like used to love hearing the stories and stuff. But yeah,
That's what made me like Howard Stern. It was like, oh, it's Artie from Dirty Work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's how he got in there because he came in with Norm and they were talking, and that was like his first introduction. And,
Yeah.
and then it like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like so they were talking about the movie at the time, and that was like Art was like he's since told the story too, but like
He was
that
a
was
stand-up
yeah,
guy.
he was he was a huge Stern fan himself, so like and like he was kind of geeking out meeting Howard and like getting to talk about the movie, and then all of a sudden like that led into him taking over the Jackie chair and
Yeah.
stuff. So like
Joke Me and Martin.
but yeah, no, it was those were some good years for sure when he was on that show. And
I
It
love
worked out for Howard. He was a good hire because that's what made me like tune
yeah.
in.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like Artie Lang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite old Howard Stern stuff was with Billy West, the guy that does the voice for like Fry on Futurama, and they're like the Red M&M, like that guy. He
and
was like a
Ren and
master.
Stimpy and stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, they used to have Billy West on there. Did you ever hear any of that old stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, when he'd do Evil Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Those of you out there who have never heard that, go on YouTube and look up Billy West does Evil Jay Leno on Howard Stern. It will blow your mind.
Yep.
You want to talk about like deep fake, video faking in the news where they can just like replace someone's face and make them say whatever they want? This was seriously sounded like Jay Leno saying the most vile stuff.
Well,
Evil Dave Letterman, same thing. The guy that did his voice too was so perfectly like Dave Letterman, it scared me. I was like, dude, that guy could like call up people and fucking get some shit done, and I'm sure he did.
Well, they did. I think actually the one that did the Arnold impression, like actually some news site or whatever it was, somebody picked it up. Like there was There was a moment where Howard like talking to Arnold, and he was talking about like blowing up the moon and it would eliminate women's menstruation cycles or something like that, like something along those lines. Some legitimate news source like ran it as a headline, like that Arnold Schwarzenegger saying this stuff, and like,
Oh my God.
so yeah, it was some pretty funny stuff, man. But yeah, those guys were really good at what they do with those voices and everything else, and it's a lot of fun.
It's pretty shocking, like how close people can get.
Yeah. Well, you again grab some tickets or bring a copy of Coneheads to the show June 15th at the Ready Room, and again you got Fister, Thorlock, Slow Damage, and Blackwell for $10, and keep an eye out for brand new record coming this fall.
Yes, sir.
And get involved everywhere, Facebook and Instagram, and check out the website for if you want to pick up a copy of that vinyl and stuff. So,
Excellent.
well, this has been incredible, guys. I really I've been having a ton of fun getting to talk about all this silly
Same.
stuff.
Yeah.
Drinking some Bush beers.
Yep.
Proud sponsor of Rock Paper Podcast.
Oh yeah.
I figure if I plug enough products, hopefully they'll send me some money. So.
There you go.
Absolutely, they will.
Fister also loves Bush beers.
Yeah.
Love Four Hands beer.
Yep. Proud sponsor of Fister at the Ready Room June 15th. But yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this, man. It's been fun. So let's
Likewise.
let's do it again soon. Let's not make it 2 years or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
right.
been.
Deal.
For sure. Sounds fun.
For the record, also, I am on here on accident, pretty much.
Yeah, Kenny. We were getting ready to
I was
start.
like barged in. Yeah,
Yeah, we were getting ready to start. Kenny called, and I was like, "Hey, come on over.
Yeah. Well,
We're gonna go
Yeah,
check
I was
out."
like, I thought for whatever reason you were wrapping up at 2, so I was like, oh well, I didn't want you to like if you were in Maplewood, I didn't want you to head back to. I was coming from the city, and so he was like, "Are you done?" He's like, "No, I'm just about to start. Come on down." I was like, "Oh,
that's been that's been
for
some of
having
my
me.
yeah. Happy to.
we're gonna go see our buddy Justin Ennis. His band Ulthar is in St. Louis
Ulthar
tonight.
and Hell Night tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
With some other bands.
Some of the bands.
There's with some of my favorites happen that way though. Like I did one with Neil and Jeremy from Old Souls Revival, and they surprised me, and Zach Squat showed up and sat in on it, and
Oh, cool.
that was the first I met him.
Talked over everybody.
Yeah, right. But that was
Zach's awesome.
But he it was fun. Like I was like we had a great time, and then yeah, so it's just fun when you just never know what to expect. Something happens, and hey, Kenny shows up, and we're gonna do a podcast now.
There
so
you go.
It's that's the fun of the show too.
Spontaneity.
Yep, you never know what's gonna happen. So, but anyway, yeah, thank you guys, and let's do it again soon.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Shane.
right, bye everybody.
Yep.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.